Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. Well, we have to go through the store and get goodies out of the freezers to pack for market tomorrow. It's Friday afternoon. I've got a whole bunch of things to show you and talk about in this video. It's kind of a mixed bag, just like these. Can you find the cat? Ezra's always up here supervising, aren't you, Ezra? The first topic is sales related stuff. We've got 2 beef at the butcher now. We'll have them back next week. And this is all we've got for cuts other than ground beef. I got about, I don't know, 200 pounds of ground beef in one of the other freezers, but the cuts really sell fast. Now it's getting colder. I think we need to pack more stew meat. What we sell changes based on season. Here's a cut that I only just discovered this spring when we tried it out. This is called a Boston roast. And I love these things. It looks like a chuck roast, and the grain of the meat goes this way, just like a chuck roast, but it tastes completely different from a chuck roast. Oh, well, even one of the ones I grabbed is a chuck roast, and the other's a Boston roast. See how similar they are? This is cut, unlike the chuck, which is kind of up into the neck and into different muscle groups and tends to be a tougher meat, and it has that kind of gummy fat in it. Boston roasts are cut from the armpit, and they don't taste like an armpit. They taste like what's right below them, which is rib roast, prime rib, ribeye. They have that same flavor, completely different from chuck. You know, beef can be cut so many different ways. We were having this stuff ground into ground beef up until this spring, and boy, what we were missing out on. I'm trying to teach customers about cuts like this and things you don't normally see in the grocery store that are really delicious. However, when I open up this freezer, I'll reveal the sad part of our sales season. This is all the pork we have left. 2 in a bit cases full of ground pork. Everything else is gone. You may remember that last spring I did some math on running the increased cost of grain through our pork and our poultry operations and found that pork was 25% more direct cost for us to grow, not including labor, that's just grain, 25%. So we cut down on the amount of pork that we're growing. And what happened is I sold it at the same rate or maybe even a little more than last year. We bumped our prices up some. We didn't bump them up 25%. Blew through all of our pork early. This is the first time we've run out of pork in probably 7 years. We're always overlapping batches with each other and kind of sweating whether we're going to sell all of our pork, you know, before the next batch comes in. But this time it sold out quick. Now, when I look at our profit, I mentioned this in a couple videos ago, we're making nothing really when our labor is counted in. So this is a good case of capitalism, supply and demand mechanisms. It tells me, since I sold out this quickly, that we should be bumping our prices up more so that we can go back into making more profit on our pork and stretch out our supply. That's without increasing the number of animals that we grow. More profit for the same amount of work. The thing that bugs me about it is pork that we sell is so much more expensive than supermarket pork to begin with. I've always had this kind of noble intention of keeping our costs down as low as they can be to customers so that we're a little bit more competitive in that discrepancy you see, especially in the vertically integrated systems of chicken and pork that the supermarkets are selling for dirt cheap. But I think it's time to raise prices more. Speaking of prices, I got to update our signboard. We run through different cuts of beef every week and have different things in stock. And then I can pack the board, and then we can go outside and see some of the animals. Tri-tip steaks are gone. Eye round roasts are gone. Then pack the sign in the truck and we'll be all done. Fall has arrived. And you can tell it's kind of windy out here. And it's cool. It's only been 45, 50 degrees. Tomorrow it's supposed to get all the way to 65, I think. Speaking of piggers, where are these guys? They're in their hut. Let's see if we can sneak up on them. Howdy, piggers. Don't run away. They're all coming back to see me. Hey, you monkeys, how's it going? You got purple on your head. Must be a berry. I think you guys are scared of the camera, aren't you? You're not scared of me at all. No. We always got the guy sniffing the camera from the back. You come around front. You should come right around front here. There you go. I am not edible. Nope, I'm not. You remember what this lot was like when we started, right? I mean, you couldn't see anything in here. It was all vegetation about as tall as me. They've cleared it all out except for, well, those bushes over there are poisonous. They won't mess with them. They know. And then there's some box elder trees and things, but they've eaten everything else out, including most of the burdock. You guys are nature's land clearers, aren't you? Yeah, nature's plows. We'll go over here and talk about these guys because I don't want to make them uncomfortable. Just between you and me, these guys are going to the butcher in the end of December, so we're trying to put some weight on them at this point, feeding them out good. And being out of pork makes it a little bit more urgent for me to have a nice batch come the end of the year. I wasn't talking about you guys. You just go about your business, you know? Pretty soon it'll be time to eat dinner. That wind is cold today. Boy, you can tell winter's coming. Hillary started the wood stove for the first time today. We were out butchering this morning in 40-degree weather and it gets pretty cold. So she said, I'm starting the stove. Let's go and see Orden and Daffodil and Polly Walnuts. Hey, Orden. I don't think she's ready yet. Polly, how are you? Mom, don't get in the way of Mom eating, that's for sure. It's not time yet, Orden. You got to wait about 5 more days, I think. Yep, you do. He makes that sound all day, and Titus will call. Even though they can't see each other, they can hear each other. Orden and Daffodil and her calf, Polly Walnuts, are going to be in here until we think she'll come back, if she's going to come back into heat, because we think he bred her once at the end of next week. So that's about 5 days from now. We're going to look for a heat, and if we don't see a heat, then she and Orden are going back outside to join the other cattle, and Orden and Titus are going to have their annual competition. We're just going all over the place this afternoon. Through gates, through doors, the whole 9 yards. One of the great things about farming is when the seasons change, your job description changes, and we're in the middle of that right now. The farm work is starting to slow down. Well, it speeds up before it slows down. And out here in the bird pasture, we got lots of work to do before it gets too cold. Howdy, chickens. Starting with the laying hens, I mentioned a couple videos ago our egg production has gone way down. 250 hens out here. I think we're getting 5 or 6 dozen a day now, and it's two things. They're starting to molt, and that means they lose their feathers and they put on a different coat for winter. And the second thing is that chickens lay eggs strictly according to day length. So once you hit the equinox, which we just hit a couple days ago, they're well on their way down, and they lay the most, of course, on the summer solstice. So it's about time to take stew hens. And you know, just like the pigs, we don't want to talk about these ladies while we're in with them. Well, I don't know, maybe they would lay more eggs if they knew what was at stake. Every year, half of our laying hens go to stew hens, and we do that by breed. So we have 5 standard breeds, and 3 of them are going to be stew hens this year. That's how we keep track of who's 2 years old, and that's when they go to stew hens. At the same time, these guys are slowing down. The pullets that we have back in the winter house that we're growing out should start laying eggs sometime in October. So as one tapers down for the season, those pullets will actually pick up and ramp through and lay decently through the first winter of their laying life. So that's just another thing out here, you know. I mean, what you see out here is work that Hillary and I still have to do. We've got to take care of the stew hens sometime next month. We've got 30 turkeys here that are getting pretty big. Hi guys, you guys are getting big. I run into a lot of people that think turkeys are goofy and stupid, but I think they're kind of majestic. I'm in agreement with Ben Franklin on that one. You guys are. You're majestic. None of you have drowned in the rain, and it's rained a lot here lately. That's an old wives' tale. Your snoods and waddles are starting to hang down. Yep, you're a good-looking batch, you guys. Are they following me? Yeah, they're just like the cattle. Speaking of the cattle, they're yelling at me. Yes, Patty, I'm going to be there in a minute. See you later, turkeys. Hillary and I got to bring a scale out to weigh some of the turkeys the next time we move them in 3 days, and we'll see where we're at. That's how we decide when it's time to butcher them. And we got broilers. Yes, you guys aren't as pretty as the turkeys, but you sure do taste good. Hillary and I do all of our own poultry butchering here on the farm. Stew hens, broiler chickens, and turkeys. And when the weather gets like this, it's not a lot of fun, as I mentioned, and Hillary particularly doesn't like it. It gets hard to feel your fingers after a while in the cold water, but that's one of the ways that chicken, which is another grain-intensive animal, we can make a profit on it still, because we're not having to pay, I don't know, say $4 a bird to the butcher. Yes, it's our own time, but it's still money in our pocket. We got 2 boxes to go here, so that represents next week and the week after, and we will sure be happy to be done with broilers and kind of start clearing out this field. Alrighty. Look at these guys. They're all staring at me. They were interested in what I had to say about the chickens, just as long as I'm not talking about them. Patty, you're all complaining. It's not just Patty. I think she's teaching you guys. By the way, I haven't mentioned yet how great the grass is growing. Oh my gosh, this fall's just been perfect grass growing weather. I'm coming in. I am. Hi, little ones. You little calves are getting bigger. You guys are growing. You are. And here comes Titus. Hi, buddy. You still got your war paint on your face. Patty's nursing her calf, and Tulip over there is nursing her calf. You got milk face. Look at that. Looks like you had a good meal. I didn't want to scare you away. You're a nice looking calf. You can go back to dinner. You're kind of a sloppy eater, though. There's milk all down Patty's legs. Hi, Rusty. You're still shy. Remember, a year ago I was out here trying to make friends with Rusty. He's still shy. And here's Tulip and her calf. You got milk face too, and your tongue's hanging out. Those of you who have raised calves know quite often after they're done nursing, their tongue kind of goes, and they'll walk around with it that way for a while. It's milk tongue, we call it. Hi, Doc. How are you? How are you doing, bud? Hi, Marty. You guys are a pair, Doc and Marty. Oh, Marty, you're a little bit more skittish. These guys are as happy as my belly-aching cattle can be out here on this pasture, because this is a great field they're on. There is so much good stuff to eat here. Look at how thick this is. Really nice. Here's where we stand on beef. I have mixed feelings about sending beef to the butcher. Well, I really don't have mixed feelings. I love getting beef back from the butcher, and to me it means fewer mouths to feed as we try to reduce our herd a little bit. We've sent 9 head to the butcher so far this year. We have 3 more to go. We have 2 steers, and then the last will be a cull cow, which is Carrie, our 15-year-old oldest cow. She's the other one besides Patty with horns. She's standing over there. We're waiting for her calf to be at weaning age, which for us, we'd like to be at least 4 months old. And then unfortunately, one of her hips is going, so she's going to need to go to the butcher. That'll be a sad day. She's the last of the original cattle that we bought onto the farm, except for Patty. But Patty was just like, I forget, I think she was 3 weeks old when she came on. She was just a little calf back then. It looks to me, looking around the fields, like we're going to be able to run them through around the rotation one more time, which means we should have 3 weeks or a month of grazing left, which is late for us. Usually we're ending grazing sometime in October. It's been a good fall. Oh gosh, guys. First rule of farming is don't forget to close the gate. That's true. You know, I don't know why you guys are belly aching so much. You've got the best food there is to eat these days. But y'all followed me to the gate. What is that funny business? It's Doc and Marty going head to head. All right, Titus, I'm going to leave. Yes, I'm leaving. You got bull breath. Oh man, who haven't I covered? Well, we've got 4 heifers in here that are going to be cull heifers next summer, so they're hanging out in here until we let the herd back out to pasture next April. And we have about 75 replacement laying hens, pullets right now, in the winter house. They're getting big. They look almost adult. They should be laying any day. Most of them are hanging out here in the yard. Barred rocks and Ericanas. You guys are awful quiet compared to those cows. As fall starts, it's always the calm before the storm for us. And we're going along doing chores twice a day, but the big projects for the summer are over. The hay is made, it's buttoned up in the barn. The cattle have been bred, hopefully, and moved out to where they should be. That work is all done except for moving Orden back out. And we get into this period where we're sort of starting a little bit to prepare for winter, and as far as like cleaning out the bedding pack in the winter layer house, getting the pigs situated. But we haven't reached the real busy season in October where we're getting ready for Thanksgiving. We're butchering turkeys, we're taking care of stew hens, we're finishing up chickens, we're moving the pasture furniture and the bird pasture into its resting place for the winter time. So I have some time on my hands here in September, and I've been using that time to work on the Super C tractor restoration, which I've really gotten into. And I'm kind of single-minded when I get into a project like that and just want to work and work and work on it. So I apologize that we're entering a mixture here of farm and, well, they're all farm videos, but some are tractor videos and some are farm videos. And I know that there's a good percentage of the audience here that doesn't want to watch the tractor restoration videos, and I can understand that, but it's kind of the way my life is changing as we go into the winter. So there will always be farm videos. They're just going to be mixed in with more of the mechanical tractor restoration videos. It's what I love to do. There's different facets of life for everybody, and not everybody will be interested in it. I'm fine with that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.